You might be looking at the title and thinking, what are you talking about? How can K-pop be held back in the West? Or how can it be this passing fad when BTS is taking the world by storm and being frequent guests of the United Nations? Or when you have TWICE, often called Korea's nation's girl group, not only being popular in Korea or Japan, but has a huge fan base out west and constantly sells out its tours. Or you have Blackpink, who's the most subscribed K-pop YouTube channel at the time of this video and has an insane presence overseas, with the 4 stars being incredibly marketable. So just from those 3 K-pop groups alone, how can K-pop be slowing down? And I get it, K-pop today is one of the most trendy musical genres out there, especially with young people. The music is catchy, the choreography is slick, and the idols are strikingly handsome or very beautiful. And the big attracting point to K-pop are the idols themselves. It's why K-pop is so popular. But these days, there's a huge problem within the K-pop fandom community. It's the over-obsessive worshipping fans. K-pop has this obsessed fandom culture where fans will do some crazy stuff to defend their idols from pretty much any criticism. Which makes me say this, K-pop may be popular now, K-pop may be trending, but if it doesn't curb its idol worship, and if it keeps continuing this culture of just worshipping these idols, K-pop could decline in the West. It could be a passing fad. And I know some of you guys might be critics and might be snickering and saying, that's silly, Jason, but over the years, I've seen some popular trends just die out like this. And K-pop, as popular as it is not immune to this either. Now, to put this out there, of course I do not want this to happen. I'm a K-pop fan myself, I love the genre, but I have to call it what it is. I see the dangers of idol worship. So this video, I can say without a doubt, is going to be one of the most important videos I do on this channel. And I don't see that many people in the K-pop fandom talking about this. So this video is going to be quite long. So I hope you have some time and your favorite beverage to sit down and relax and find out why K-pop idolism and worship is horrible. So we're going to talk about why it's bad. We're going to talk about other pop culture mediums such as anime, gaming, K-dramas, movies, and how those pop culture fandoms are thriving with minimal celebrity worship. And of course, we're going to talk about the dangers of K-pop worship. Before we get into the meat of the video, I do want to put out a quick disclaimer. We'll be showing some vile, horrible behavior that these obsessive K-pop fans do, known as Koreaboos or K-pop stans. Some of these screenshots and videos that will be shown have some cursing and some spicy material in them. Now I do know it's not all K-pop fans or fandoms that act this way. In fact, many of these fans are awesome, but there's still a good number of fans that engage in this toxic, vile behavior, especially on Twitter. With that all being said, let's first talk about why K-pop fans worship their idols so much. There's many reasons why fans do this, why they obsess over idols and worship groups. For one, they admire their great looks, they look very handsome or pretty, and maybe for some, it inspires them to work out and to go on diets and to get toned themselves. Others might like their hard work and determination, they heard their life story, and how their idols wanted so badly to become K-pop stars, and after years and years and years of training and sweating before their debut, they finally made it and became big. And a lot of fans do resonate with that. And then there's others that just like how they sing. They have powerful vocals, or they have meaningful song lyrics, or they like how they danced, how they have slick dance moves that they too want to imitate. And then there's others, of course, that are attracted to their personalities on TV shows and movies and dramas and social media. There's a lot of reasons why these fans become attracted to their idols. And so far, these are good things. Why fans like these idols. And if it just stopped there, you admire idols for whatever reason, good for you. At the very most, I would call this a healthy obsession. As long as you liking idols just stays at admiration, cool. But if you've been around in the K-pop fandom long enough, you know that there's a lot of fans that go way overboard, and they go way over that line of just simple admiration. And these fans are the obsessed, worshipping fans that we're going to talk about in this video. Now, these fans are the ones that in pretty much every K-pop video, they comment on their looks, "You're so handsome, oppa," or "You're so pretty, onni," or every single song they produce, they think it's the best thing ever, or every time a person that critiques the song and doesn't like the song says it in comments, these obsessed fans will defend their favorite idols and say some really nasty, toxic stuff that most people wouldn't be caught saying in public. And when you read some of these comments, it's just very cringe. It's like, whoa, why would you say that? They just don't like your group. I do think these obsessed fans take the persona of their favorite K-pop idols and they project it on themselves. So when you put down their favorite idol, it's like you're putting down them. So when you combine overprotectiveness with worshipping idols and thinking they can do no wrong, there's a huge problem in this. Because excessive idolism is dangerous. They resort to these vile, toxic comments. And the behavior just doesn't stop with these toxic comments. They go deeper. Some of them might do things like doxing or harassment or same as nasty threats, which we'll talk about pretty soon. When I see these comments, it just makes me embarrassed and cringe at the K-pop fandom. It really sucks to see. And it gives the K-pop fandom a toxic reputation. And speaking of this reputation, if you step outside the bubble of the K-pop fandom, you'll see how other pop culture fandoms think about us. And it's not a good look. Moist Critical, a popular YouTuber and Twitch streamer, made a video called Why K-pop Fans Scare Me. Check it out.
On the internet, there's a single unwritten rule. Don't fuck with K-pop fans, and more of just the idea of celebrity worship and how unhealthy it is, where K-pop fans take that to the most extreme possible level. When you even make a tweet with K-pop in the title, you are getting shit. No matter what you've said, you are getting a shower of shit.
He basically says that if you disagree with these toxic K-pop fans' favorite groups or their songs, or even just slightly agree, they'll go crazy on you.
But for some reason, K-pop has bred this incredibly hostile group of people with an unhealthy obsession that I think needs to be addressed. And it's fine to be passionate, but this is unhealthy obsession. I'm talking to all of the stans out there. You know who you are. You've replied to my tweets with their fucking 2-minute long clips of choreography from your favorite K-pop group.
And if you look at the comments on this video, I agree with it. I agree with a lot of his take, and I agree with a lot of the comments. But that's not all, because there's other streamers and YouTubers not directly in the K-pop community that's been criticizing these toxic K-pop fans. Another big streamer is 39daft. How this started is that 39daft one day was talking to her Twitch stream when they brought up Blackpink. And she basically said that although the girls are very pretty, she didn't like all Blackpink's music and called a lot of it EDM trash.
Blackpink is actually not good though. They literally just regurgitate the same EDM trash shit over and over, and then people are like, oh my god, they're so beautiful, look at them, they're so great. Yeah, and then what? What are you gonna do, call me homophobic and racist because I don't like Blackpink? Like, yeah, they're really popular, but quality-wise, they're not great.
Now, was her take blunt? Yes, it was. Could she have been nicer in her criticism? Oh yes, of course. Daft is a pretty blunt streamer, and she doesn't really have a filter, which makes her popular, but at the same time, doesn't make her too popular to K-pop fans, as you'll see very soon. And by her own admission, her comments on Blackpink, it was overblown and aggressive. So she was poking the K-pop beehive. I would say that Daft just BS's a lot and says a lot of random jokes, and pretty much they're harmless. They have no malice or hate behind it. Now, when Daft was saying this to her Twitch audience, she didn't think that would go anywhere outside of her channel. Yet word spread around very quickly of her comments, especially since a popular streamer said it on one of the groups deemed as K-pop royalty. So suddenly, a horde of Blinks or Blackpink fans started showing up on her Twitch channel as well as social media. And as you can imagine, the comments weren't that nice. So usually what happens after this is that a lot of online personalities seem to back down or they hide for a bit. And you know what? With the toxicity with a lot of these K-pop fans, I don't blame them, but not Daft. In fact, she actually poked the K-pop beehive even further. She went for round 2, and she wanted to test her theory further that if K-pop fans would lose their mind if she said some more stuff about Blackpink. And while this was all happening, one of her good friends, Matthew DeLisi, better known as Overwatch League player Super, knew what was gonna happen. He posted a tweet to Daft saying, the K-pop fans are coming. And come they did. 39daft's second round was basically a first grade joke. Yeah, Daft is definitely poking the Blink beehive. Of course, the comments were even nastier, and it actually went viral on both the K-pop community as well as the Twitch community, with a lot of Blinks pretty much bashing Daft, but then you had a lot more sane K-pop fans that were like, whoa, this is way too much. Or others that were embarrassed by these toxic K-pop fans' comments that said that this was way too overblown or that Daft is trolling you, which she was. And then you had a lot of gamers and non-K-pop fans defending her. So you had a lot of people all over the spectrum. As for me, I don't think Daft hates K-pop. In fact, she does like some Blackpink songs, and she's actually friends with Jay from Day 6. But it got pretty crazy when K-pop fans started taking things into their own hands and started to bombard Jay with DMs saying, hey, your friend Daft doesn't like Blackpink, do something about it.
I'm mute because Jay might hear what I said. I don't think he's not gonna give a fuck what I said. Dude, you K-pop bitches are crazy. They like fucking DM me and then go like, hey, can you tell Jay to do this, tell Jay to do that? I'm like, why the fuck are you telling me to tell Jay how to act? Like, go fuck yourself. Fuck off.
Whether you agree or disagree with Daph's comments, I would say the toxic comments went way too far, and that you agree to disagree, or at the very most, you can have smack talk like what sports fans do. The stuff that Daph got, which is some crazy stuff in her DMs and attempted doxes, trying to get her canceled, that is not the right way to do it, K-pop fans.
But does it justify calling Michaela the N-word? Does it justify calling me a corona spreader because I'm Chinese?
And that's what makes the K-pop fandom toxic. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, that's not all K-pop fans. Sure, it's not. But when you have a sizable amount, even say like 20 or 30%, since they're the loudest and do the most crazy stuff, they're gonna represent the rest of the fandom. So from the examples of both Moist Critical as well as 39 Daph, we gotta clean up the K-pop image here. It's not okay to do the stuff they're doing here.
But it's not just Twitch culture or the gaming scene where toxic Koreaboos spill into. They've made their presence felt in anime as well. Sanu of Enhypen is a big fan of the hit anime series My Hero Academia, which is quite common for idols, since a lot of them love anime. So Enhypen fans asked the official My Hero Academia Twitter account to wish Sanu happy birthday. The account in turn posted a simple happy birthday message early, about a week before Sanu's birthday. Yet this wasn't enough for these fans, since it wasn't on his actual birthday. So these same K-pop stans kept bombarding the Twitter account again and again, asking if they can repost the happy birthday message a week later on Sanu's birthday. Yet the My Hero Academia account had enough of being strung along, and replied with a firm no, followed by a stinger by saying that K-pop fans be wildin', which triggered Sanu fans to no end, as they proceeded to trash the anime series, with some fans saying that they quit watching the anime after that response, with one K-pop stan saying, "No one watches your show," which has to be one of the most horrible takes on Twitter that I've read in some time. Because that's like the anime equivalent to no one listens to BTS, because My Hero Academia is an insanely popular anime. And speaking of BTS, I swore that some of the members of the group love the anime, and I don't think BTS counts as nobody. The anime also has millions of fans around the world. The Twitter account's response of no was a turning point, as it was a powerful statement showing that the anime community would not be bullied. From this, I can only say that these K-pop stans are online bullies, with a lot of them acting like immature kids that somehow got a hold of Twitter. The My Hero Academia account did not even have to post the happy birthday message the first time, but they were nice in doing so. Some of these Koreaboos even demanded that this My Hero Academia account adhere to their demands behind a computer screen. By pestering the account over and over again, it's not only annoying, it reeks of entitlement, which sadly, a lot of these K-pop fans have. What's even more funny is that these delusional fans tried to cancel the anime, one of the biggest animes in recent history. Good luck with that. They think that the anime community would kowtow to these K-pop fans' demands because of a refusal of reposting Sunu's happy birthday message. But the anime community had the My Hero Academia Twitter accounts back. Thankfully, the anime was in no danger of being cancelled at all, as these K-pop fans went head-on against another powerful fandom, the anime fans. This is a huge win for both the anime community and calling out this K-pop stan culture, while for us K-pop fans, it puts us in even a more negative light, as it shows that we have a decent sized segment in our fandom that act horrible. I really feel bad for Sunu, as he didn't have any part in harassing the My Hero Academia account, as I'm sure he's a cool guy. Because while there's a lot of anime fans that are also K-pop fans, there's also a lot of anime fans that don't like K-pop precisely because of this toxic bullying fan behavior from K-pop fans.
Another thing that the K-pop fandom is known for that annoys a lot of people is posting K-pop fan cams, especially in response to really horrific tragedies. If say a person passes away, you'll have these toxic fans post a fan cam of their favorite group, which is so random and cringe and rude all at the same time. Because why would you do that when a person passes away? Just go, hey guys, if only you stand this group, then maybe that person wouldn't have died.
This played out to a T during the Los Angeles Lakers legend Kobe Bryant when he passed away in 2020 in a helicopter crash. You would think that people would pay their respects and, not say anything rude during his passing. It's just disrespectful to his family, friends, fans of the LA Lakers, and just pretty much everyone else. But some K-pop fans took this to promote their favorite groups instead. Why would K-pop stans do this? It just comes off as being rude and being a douchebag. I really can't see it any other way. Whether you even like Kobe as a person or not isn't even the problem. You respect the dead, their family, their friends, and the fans that supported them.
It's very condescending and there's like no empathy behind it. I've seen that so many times on Twitter and I'm just embarrassed to see that. There's a lot of people that are getting annoyed by this. And I know why these fans are doing this is because they want to get more clicks for their favorite group's music videos. So they rank higher on YouTube and they have a greater view count. It's all about just having higher numbers and exploiting tragedies like someone passing away to do that. That's just horrible.
But it doesn't even have to be in response to a tragedy. It can be just for simple reasons, as a lot of these K-pop stans and Koreaboos on Twitter think that K-pop fan cam responses are some kind of gotcha moment or ultimate comeback. We saw this earlier in the My Hero Academia example on Twitter. Many K-pop fans would just resort to posting K-pop fan cams, showing many K-pop stans unwillingness to even have a normal, mature conversation.
Now this next point is going to show the vast difference between K-pop and other pop culture fandoms and how they do it right. So the pop culture fandoms I'm going to talk about are anime, video games, K-dramas, and movies. Now these fandoms all have one thing in common. They're not all tied down by idol worship. Now yes, there are idols and celebrities in these fandoms such as say K-dramas and movies where you have a lot of famous actors. There's so many things that you can talk about movies. Just look at Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for instance. Those fans can talk forever about their favorite franchises and not once talk about like the idol factor of the actors, the cinematography. They can talk about the story, the lore, the characters. They can talk about so many other things than swooning over their favorite actor or actress. And this is in stark contrast to K-pop, where idolism is encouraged. And these celebrities from other pop culture fandoms have this barrier that fans won't cross. Yes, you can admire them. Yes, you can like them a lot. But if you start doing what a lot of K-pop sasaengs or stalking fans do, your reputation just looks really bad. Like people will think that's just so weird that you're stalking an idol and obsessed. They'll tell you to touch grass. People are encouraged to defend idols, say toxic stuff about other people, and a lot of times to stalk them. And that's just sad. These other pop culture mediums also have a powerful weapon behind them: the story. So for instance, you want to know why Squid Game is so insanely popular right now? Yes, it's an exciting battle royale, and it has some fun kiddie games that soon turn into survival. People also care about the story. They care about the characters. They care about the themes of Squid Game. And while Squid Game does have a powerful lineup like Lee Jung-jae, or guest starring Gong Yoo, or Lee Byung-hyun, or breakout actress Jung Ho-yeon, people aren't talking about them as much as other factors of the drama. If you take a look at YouTube and put in Squid Game, the most popular results that you'll get are things like how to survive Squid Game, or how to beat the games, or the true meaning of Squid Game, or Squid Game explained, or things you missed about Squid Game. These are the topics that are popular about a drama like Squid Game. Notice how there's no idolism in this. Now, going back to K-pop, what is the most important factors? So for a music video, it usually comes down to choreography, the looks of the idols, the music, of course, music video aesthetics, and every once in a while, the meaning of the song. Now with meaning of a song, if you get outside of just bubblegum pop and dance music like the mainstream stuff, you actually have to know some Korean. And you might be thinking, but there's subtitles. Korean doesn't translate to English one-to-one a lot of times. And a lot of times you also have to know Korean culture to understand it. So it's really tough to just base it off subtitles. If you go outside of mainstream music, dance and music, okay, cool. Music video aesthetics, most people will just say, that was a pretty cool music aesthetic, or the set looks pretty. And for news and gossip, oh yeah, K-pop fans love seeing what their idols are doing, who they're dating, if there are any scandals involved, and so forth. So notice how I didn't really say story in K-pop, or themes or morality. Not very many K-pop fans talk about that. So with all the factors I listed, there's very few tangible things that K-pop fans can latch onto. So we're just gonna latch on to news and gossip, choreography, and the music basically. And it has nowhere near the in-depth pull that a story has of a movie or K-drama or anime or video game. So because of the very few tangible things that K-pop fans can talk about, the bar is set very low for Western fans to talk in depth about K-pop. And speaking of that bar, let's talk about that because the bar is set so low for the US. To be a K-pop expert in the US, you just have to know the very mainstream groups. You have to know the members and what they like and dislike and their favorite hobbies. In Korea, that wouldn't fly at all. If you went to Korea and said, I listen to BTS, they'd go like, okay, cool, you listen to mainstream K-pop. That would not make you an expert in Korean music at all. Heck, that doesn't even make you an expert in K-pop. And let me give you another example. Say there's a Korean exchange student and they go study in the US for a year. They come to LA. A lot of their American friends are like, oh, you like American music. Who do you listen to? And the Korean exchange student says, I listen to Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Ed Sheeran. And then the Korean exchange student says, I know all of Beyonce's favorite likes and dislikes, and I'm subbed to her Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. And this person is listing off the profiles of all his favorite American artists. And his American friends will say, okay, cool, and that's it. It doesn't make you an American music expert in like indie music or rock or jazz or heavy metal. It just makes you a very mainstream music fan. When you say that to a Korean, or you say it to a person such as myself that's an expat, that's worked in industry, and you just say, I know, say BTS, or I know Blackpink. Okay, so does that make you an expert? No, it doesn't. It makes you a very mainstream K-pop person. No one is impressed. Apparently to a lot of American K-pop fans, they're very impressed by that. The bar is set very low. And I know that's sounding very mean right now. And you're like, Jason, why are you being mean to American K-pop fans? And it's because this bar is so low because of K-pop idol worship. If you know all the idols, their likes and dislikes, they like cheesecake, but they hate celery. And I know some of the choreography and I buy their CDs. It makes you a K-pop expert. It doesn't make you an expert at all. Because here's my thing, anime, gaming, K-dramas, movies, the bar is a lot higher. Just because the fans can talk about in-depth topics like story, themes, characters, and so on, right? K-pop, it's down here. So I want to raise the bar to be up here. But to do that, we have to get away from idolism. But it's not just the K-pop fans' fault, I have to say. It's also the label. And the reason for this is most K-pop fans are young and they only have a limited amount of money. So K-pop labels are asking these young fans to spend their limited money on their group. So you get the fans to think that the company's idol group is the best. And K-pop labels know that if they worship them and especially get them hooked emotionally, these fans will start to worship this group and start to spend a lot of money on them. That's why you have conventions like KCON that have $900 VIP packages to meet and greet and high touch your favorite idols. Both conventions as well as music labels know where the money is at, and it's from worshiping fans. Another reason is because of music shows like Inkigayo and Music Bank, where each week only one group can win. And the way they win is through votes, and you can only vote for one group. So if you're a multi-fandom, that's really bad for K-pop labels because their group might not win. So the K-pop labels try to get them emotionally attached, so the fans vote for that group and they win at that music show. But you might be thinking, man, idolism is crazy. Is that it? No, not done just yet. I also noticed that a lot of Western K-pop fans only listen to songs recommended to them by their favorite K-pop groups. Their range is limited straight to mainstream unless their favorite group says, hey, check out this song or check out this song. And I respect these groups that give indie artists or lesser known artists their time in the sun. They send their huge fandoms to check out their song. These idols are awesome for doing that. But the sad thing is when you look at the comments of these indie artists or lesser known artists, it's usually about their favorite groups sending them there, such as, oh, BTS sent me here, or oh, Twice has sent me here. Take a look at iconic group Epic High and their song Fly. Now, BTS has been on record saying that Epic High inspired them to get into the music industry. You see a lot of the comments here just saying, BTS brought me here, or insert favorite BTS member that brought me here. Instead of saying, BTS brought me here, but this song is dope and I'm gonna stick around and be an Epic High fan. You don't see those comments like that as often. Another one is the song Boat, popular song in Korea, but I don't think it's really popular out west. So when NCT was singing it on a show, and then Treasure also started to promote it, the song got a lot more views. But as you can expect, you only see fans talking about NCT and Treasure. NCT brought me here, Treasure brought me here. I'm only here because of those two groups. It's so rude to say that about an artist's music, and you're not even commenting on the music or how good it is. That really sucks. I will say with Boat though, there are some comments that do acknowledge that the song is a banger and a jam, and they're glad that they're here, or that, hey guys, stop talking about your favorite group. Can it just be about the artist? There are some fans that say this, and for these fans, thank God. You guys are the future of Western K-pop. Thank God. The last one is IU. Now, IU does a lot of covers of older songs, and one of the songs was Sleepless Rainy Nights, which her version was released in 2017. Yet when you look at the comments, the very few people know the original songs by Kim Gun-mo back in 1992, also called Sleepless Rainy Nights. So they think that IU created the song. It sucks because, again, a lot of K-pop fans, especially Western fans, are limited to mainstream or what their artist recommends. So Kim Gun-mo is a legend in Korea, but Nearly all K-pop fans won't know that. So they won't know that IU's song is more of a remake or a cover song. Wrapping it up, I do think having a healthy admiration for idols is great. It's awesome even to be inspired by your favorite idols and to love K-pop. Cool. But when you pass that line and become obsessive, then you give K-pop a bad name. You give it its toxic reputation that we're known for. And when we have a lot of K-pop fans and that engage in that toxic behavior, then the K-pop bar is set low. So in a future video, we're gonna talk about solutions, how we can curb K-pop worship, and why it's bad for you, the K-pop fan. And we're also gonna break down how K-pop can thrive in the West without that idolism. But for now, I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope some of you realize why K-pop worship is bad and why the bar is set so low for us right now in the West. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. It was a spicy video. I'd still love to know your take in the comments below.
2 other things to mention. If you want real talk with no fluff on how the K-pop industry actually works, then please grab my free ebook by signing up for the email list below. And if you like what we do here at Pop Story, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. It's not necessary, of course, and we're honored if you just watch our videos. But for those that do support us on Patreon, we have some cool perks waiting.
As always, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everyone.